school football is huge. It's by far the biggest money maker. In most cases, that football season funds the the whole entire sports program for the year, just off the funds made in that football season. That's crazy. You have volleyball, you have basketball, you have all these other sports that plays more games than football, but yet and still, no matter where you go, the football program is always the engine of school programs. If you feel like I'm wrong, enlighten me on the situation, but to my knowledge, it's always been the football program that's funding all the other programs. So this particular segment today, ladies and gentlemen, we like to do things a little fun, little things our way. So this particular segment, we like to introduce y'all to the Eating Good moment. And this week on Eating Good, we like to shout out a Texas quarterback that's getting praise from a two-time Super Bowl champion, Patrick Mahomes. Wait till you hear this stat. Now, some people don't even do this in one season. 10 touchdowns. Now, if I told you that this particular person, Will Hammond, look him up, put up a stat line, it's probably going to go down in history as one of the greatest high school games ever. And I'm telling you, wait till you hear this. So, a couple weeks ago, the Texas Tech commit puts up a stat line of 807 total yards and 10 touchdowns. 36 of 58 for 719 passing yards, 88 rushing yards, and 4 touchdowns. In a loss, he balled out. He ate so good that Patty Mahomes had to shout him out. Let's take out some of those clips right there of Mr. Will Hammond down in Texas. Look at this kid eating good.
Highlight Hutto senior Will Hammond, the 4-star quarterback committed to Texas Tech, went absolutely crazy, nuts last night, completing 36 of 58 passes for 719 yards and 4 touchdowns. Then on the ground, he had 88 rushing yards and 6 more touchdowns. So, in total, 10 touchdowns, 807 yards. Former Red Raider Patrick Mahomes even shouting out Hammond on Twitter, on X, whatever you call it. But here's the catch. Liberty Hill actually ends up winning the ball game 82-80.
You would call that a Madden game? 80-82, that's NBA college basketball numbers, you know? You don't see that in a high school game. So it tells me that was 2 high-power offenses, or the defenses was kind of suspect. But either way it goes, Will Hammond, you are eating good this week. So we want to nominate you the Eating Good moment of the week. We're going to transition to the Midwest. The game that probably everybody been wanting to see. New Haven coming in 3-0. Leo coming in 2-1. New Haven gets to Leo and jumps out on them 20-0. You thinking it's going to be a blowout. The next kickoff, the former Northside legend, Ohio commit, Caden Hurst, he sets the tone, gives the Leo Lions some great momentum, and takes a kickoff return back for 6, sparking a lot of great energy for the sideline of those Leo Lions. They go into halftime, 20-7. Still people thinking that the game is over. Well, probably one of the best games of the year, in my opinion. We'll see how after the Carroll Snider game this upcoming week. But the game ends up going into overtime with the Ohio State recruit catching the game winner, Mylan Graham, to go up 42-35. Leo responds back, gets in the end zone, but fails to get the extra point to allow New Haven to remain undefeated in a thriller. 42 the 41. New Haven wins. It goes on to be 4-0. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna stay in the high school realm. If you're in that Midwest, Northeast Indiana area, well, if you're just from Indiana, period, then you are very, very familiar with those Snider Panthers. They're 4-0 this year. They're looking good. A team that nobody thought that would be in this position. They're here. Now, since Carroll's been in the SAC, since I've been watching Carroll and Snider, there's been some tough, great games. That head coach of Carroll used to be the offensive coordinator for Snider. So, there's probably a lot of joy that he gets and, being this former team. Now, Carroll, they got a great young quarterback in Jimmy Sullivan. They lost the game this year. They both beat Warren Central, a powerhouse in Indy. That's the crazy story right there. So you have Warren Central with this new schedule. I'm gonna take a little turn real quick. Take a little right turn. With this new schedule, it allows conferences to play a couple games outside of their normal schedule, which I think it is great. It's a great thing from the youth. It's a great thing to see how other teams are playing and give you an opportunity to, not beat up on the same teams that been playing for years. So this year, Warren Central had the opportunity to, take 2 L's to 2 Fort Wayne schools, Carroll and Snider. So we have the matchup, the hot ticket, the game of the week this Friday. You better get there early at Spuller Stadium. You have Snider taking on Carroll. It's going to be a battle. Can Snider break that losing streak? Can they continue the dominance they have had in previous years? We will see. That's the hot ticket this week. Snider, Carroll. You don't want to miss that. It's gonna be fire. I can't wait. Got my ticket. We're gonna be there covering the media, get some awesome interviews. We're gonna be ready to rock and roll. So if you're a big high school football fan, I highly suggest you be there. Have your popcorn ready, have your snacks ready, have every single thing that you need, because that's gonna be a classic. It's gonna be one of those games that you're not gonna forget.